Okay, let's dive into something pretty cool today. We're going to look at a fascinating case study in building a company culture. And I mean, one that goes way, way beyond those generic slogans you see on a wall. This is a culture that actually shapes every single customer interaction.
You know what I'm talking about, right? We've all seen them. Corporate values like integrity or excellence, just plastered in a break room. But so often, they feel completely hollow, totally disconnected from the actual experience you have with that company. They're just meaningless words on a wall.
So, that begs the real question. How do you build a culture that isn't just some internal memo, but something tangible, something your customers can actually feel, especially when they need you most?
Well, one company, a heating, cooling, and plumbing company of all things, found its answer in a very, very unexpected place. They built a framework from a nearly 2,000-year-old text from the Gospel of Matthew. I know, right? But it's this incredibly powerful model that connects who their people are to how they serve. So let's break it down. Okay, so the first pillar of their entire framework is built on this metaphor of salt, and it's all about creating a solid foundation of protection for the customer.
The idea comes straight from this line: you are the salt of the earth. Now, to really get this, to understand the weight of that phrase, we have to understand what salt actually meant back then. It was a whole lot more than just something you sprinkle on your food. See, in the ancient world, salt was a huge deal. It was a powerful preserver. It was the thing that stopped food from rotting, from decaying. It was incredibly valuable. So this company, Fry, draws a direct line from that ancient meaning to their modern job. They see themselves as being in the preservation business, protecting people's homes, their health, their safety from the decay of a broken system.
So, how does that big idea translate into what people actually do every day? Well, being salt means having values like hustle, to do work that actually lasts, or heart, to care about the customer's home, not just the final invoice. It's about preventing a small leak from becoming a flooded basement, preventing disasters, not just fixing problems.
All right, now let's move to the second metaphor, because this is where it gets really interesting. It's about becoming a city on a hill. And this is where the focus shifts from just doing good work to being externally accountable for it.
So simple, but it's incredibly powerful. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. I mean, its very nature is to be visible to everyone.
And in a modern service business, that visibility is just everywhere. It's the trucks you see on the road. It's the uniforms that technicians wear in your neighborhood. It's the online reviews that anyone and everyone can read. Every single action builds this public reputation. There's literally nowhere to hide.
And here's the kicker. If you can't be hidden, you have to be accountable. There's no other choice. This means you need values like being humble enough to own your mistakes, and more importantly, to fix them, and being honest enough to always do what you say you're going to do. It's all about building a trustworthy reputation right out in the open.
Now for the final piece of the framework, and this one might be the most powerful on an emotional level. It's about being a light in the darkness, which for them translates to service through clarity.
The principle here is pretty straightforward. You don't light a lamp just to hide it, right? The entire purpose of a lamp is to illuminate, to help people see clearly, and to get rid of fear of the unknown.
And just think about it from the customer's perspective for a second. When something breaks in your home, you are completely in the dark. You're filled with all these questions and a ton of anxiety. You feel totally powerless.
This is where the company does something brilliant. They redefine what service even is. It's not just about the mechanical repairs, it's about providing clarity. The real service they deliver is peace of mind through understanding, and that's an emotional solution, not just a technical one. So, to really be a light, you can't hide behind a bunch of technical jargon. You have to have the heart to never make someone feel stupid for not knowing something, and the humility to communicate with respect, not with ego. It's all about empowering the customer with information, not overwhelming them.
Okay, so we've got these three really distinct metaphors: salt, a city on a hill, and light. How in the world do they all come together to form one single, coherent mission?
Well, this table just lays it out perfectly. Salt is about protecting what matters with work that's built to last. The city on a hill is about being publicly accountable for that work. And light is about bringing clarity and peace so the customer can make a confident decision. You see? Each part supports the others. It's a complete system.
Because at the end of the day, this is what it all boils down to. A customer might not remember the specific part that was replaced a year from now, but they will absolutely 100% remember if they felt respected, if they felt safe, and if they felt cared for. And that all leads to the company's ultimate mission. See, they don't just fix pipes and furnaces. They restore comfort, trust, and peace of mind. That is the real product they're selling. So, it leaves us with this final thought. This entire framework is built on ancient metaphors, sure, but its application is so incredibly modern and relevant. It really makes you wonder, what would it look like if more companies stopped putting meaningless words on a wall and actually started building their entire culture on a true guiding light?